Acceleration 2023. We are fortunate to have with us Mr. Siddhartha, Vice President from KDEM. So Mr. Siddhartha, my question would be like, so if you can brief us about what KDEM is and what are the primary initiatives that KDEM is taking care for North Karnataka region.
Sure. So KDEM as an organization, Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, very unique structure we have, primarily to act as a bridge between industry and government. The space that we work is primarily into digital economy, and when we say digital economy and the objective behind why we were set up is to ensure that the share of GSDP to the state to the share of digital economy to the state GSDP, that keeps on increasing every passing year. And this is with the larger objective of ensuring that India is a digital 1 trillion digital economy very soon, and Karnataka will be the largest contributor to that. So for that, I need to have very specific initiatives, and precisely the reason why we have 3 verticals where we focus: startup and innovation, which I lead, and then we have 2 other verticals: IT, ITES, GCC, something that state has had a leadership position right from I think at least for 2 decades now. And the 3rd vertical is electronic system design and manufacturing. In addition to the 3 verticals, we also have 2 horizontals, which each of these people are taking care of these 3 verticals. They all work for these 2 verticals, these 2 special initiatives. One is talent accelerator. In order to ensure that all these 3 verticals they perform adequately and optimally, I need to ensure that I have skilled manpower, and I bring in program to ensure that more and more skilled work power, manpower, they join the industry at a faster rate. We also are ensuring that we work very closely with academia to ensure that they change the curriculum so that we have more employable students coming out of college. The second horizontal, and precisely the reason why we are today in Belgavi, is beyond Bangalore.
So I'll ask question for this.
Yeah. So beyond Bangalore,
I'll ask question about beyond Bangalore, then you can answer.
Yeah.
So the next thing we happen to hear about beyond Bangalore every time. So if you can tell us about what beyond Bangalore is and what area of interest it carries to North Karnataka region.
So beyond Bangalore, particularly if I were to sort of put this in a very few words, it's creating more Bangalore, but outside Bangalore. And we wanted to, and government and entities like us, we wanted to create these new emerging clusters. We to be honest, we do not like tier 2, tier 3 sort of terminology, because we see everything as each city has a potential to become an emerging tech clusters. Precisely the reason why we are developing three cities out of Bangalore and developing that as a center of different sectors, right? Mysuru, we are trying to develop that as a cyber security and ESDM hub. Precisely the reason because there is already an ecosystem which is giving and we're banking on the city's inherent strengths. Mangaluru, we are trying to develop that as a fintech and medtech hub, and the tri-city of Hubli, Belgaum, Dharwad, we are trying to develop that as a AI/ML and EV and drones hub. So at each of these locations, all 3 verticals and talent, we have several programs to reach out to all these relevant stakeholders to ensure that we nurture this ecosystem, this nascent ecosystem through our initiative, to ensure that they scale up the startups presence here, they scale up in a much faster rate. And how we work that in that is that we have specific programs with a lot of stakeholders, be it startups, be it industry anchors, be it accelerators, incubators, academic institutions. So precisely the reason why each vertical, if I talk about my vertical is startup and innovation, we have specific programs directed towards ensuring that the startups from this cluster, they have equal and equitable chance to both start their venture and scale up their ventures. It's startup based here. From enabler point of view, they are equal to us in terms of, and the founder should get equal opportunity to grow and to seek market, to have more customer onboarded, as the same as if it was a startup from say HSR layout or Corona.
So one last question I would like to ask you is, so we happen to meet the fellow entrepreneurs in our ecosystem, and we always talk about the expectations what we have through these kind of accelerator programs or the people at the government. So that is there. We have some expectations from the government or the organization. So what expectations you as an organizer who is helping startups, right? So what expectations you are having from the startups so that it is clear for them to come with a mindset and get best use of it?
No, so I've mentioned that in Bangalore Tech Summit also, and we were interacting with a group of our Blue winners. Blue is our Access to Capital initiative, where we bring in VCs, angel investors, family offices to these clusters so that they can pitch before the investors. And we were having, and there were 10 Blue winners, 4 from here, I think 3 each from Mangalore and Mysore, and we were having very frank discussion about how we want to have a continuous engagement with them. We do not view them only as emerging startups from there. In fact, we're dependent on them to ensure that they help us curate newer programs. Until as they come to us and say that, this is something that is needed, new class, new instrument of capital, new, for example, I think Karnataka Acceleration is another initiative that we are ensuring. We are launching in Jan, which is directed towards ensuring that the incubators here in these clusters, they are well equipped. They have the same global best-in-class pedagogies to train the startups in a better way. And this idea also, and several other ideas, it's only when the startups, they come back and give us the feedback that will help us curate such programs in a far more effective way, and this will be beneficial for them also. So the only way to address this would be through continuous dialogue mechanism. If I talk about, we ensure that we visit each clusters at least, and we have a full-fledged team at all the 3 clusters. But somebody from Bangalore is always here once a month in all 3 clusters to take feedback about policies, incentives, ease of doing business, and how to beat access to market, access to mentorship, or access to capital. So I think that's the right way to go.
Absolutely, that's what the fellow entrepreneurs I would like to express, that Mr. Siddhartha has conveyed very appropriately, that we always tend to have the communication gap with the policymakers. So if, as he told, it should not be a monologue, it should be a dialogue, that we have to talk to the policymakers in person so that we get to know more about and we explore more such events. Thank you so much for your time, and